welcome to our YouTube channel. How?
And we have a great show for you today.
Are you ready to listen?
New stories.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today we have a fascinating assignment. We are taking a single powerful source, a motivational story.
It almost feels like a parable.
It does, yeah. I'm not just going to summarize it. We're going to dissect it to pull out the pure mechanics of mental discipline.
That's right. Our listener shared the story of Kabir, who was this incredibly bright young man. He had all the raw intelligence you could want.
But he had a problem.
A big one. His focus was completely unreliable. So our mission here is to really understand how he turned his biggest weakness into his greatest strength.
And give you a roadmap for, taming your own mind. The source material introduces Kabir, and it just defines his problem so beautifully. It says his mind would jump from one thought to another like a restless bird.
Oh, we all know that feeling.
Totally. You sit down to work, and within 5 minutes, your brain is making a grocery list, you're checking the news, you're thinking about something awkward you said 5 years ago.
That was Kabir. That was his default state.
And that inability to stay fixed was just crippling his potential. His father gives him this perfect, memorable analogy that really guides our whole deep dive.
Yeah, this is the core of it.
He told Kabir, "Son, your mind is like a wild horse. If you do not control it, it will take you in the wrong direction."
Discipline your mind, and it will take you anywhere you want to go.
It's a marvelous statement, but it also, it begs the question, how? How do you put a bridle on a wild horse when the horse lives inside your head?
Right. We're talking about real discipline here, not just good intentions.
Kabir tried, but he couldn't do it on his own, so his father takes him to see Guruji.
A wise old teacher who was specifically known for this, for turning young talent into successful adults.
Okay, and Guruji didn't start with breathing exercises or meditation.
No, not at all. He recognized that Kabir first needed an immediate, a visceral understanding of what distraction actually costs you.
Right, let's unpack this moment, because the teacher, he doesn't give a lecture, he gives a physical high-stakes test. We really need to analyze this aha moment. It clarifies the whole metaphor.
It was deceptively simple. Guruji handed Kabir a small glass filled right to the brim with water.
Just a glass of water.
That's it. And the only instruction was, hold this glass and don't spill a single drop while walking around my garden.
And the garden, crucially, was designed to test him.
Exactly. It was designed to test his resolve.
And this is where it gets really interesting, because the distractions are so relatable, even if they seem quiet by our modern standards. As Kabir walked, the source describes this noise of the world.
Right. Birds chirped, leaves rustled.
And other children laughed nearby.
And the test just worked immediately. The mechanism was flawless. Every single time his attention was drawn away by the noise, his grip wavered.
His head turned.
And water spilled. So when he got back to Guruji, he'd lost half of it.
The loss of focus was represented by the physical absence of water.
It's just a genius piece of instruction.
Because it makes an internal, abstract failure distraction into something external and measurable. Spillage.
Absolutely. And Guruji synthesized this lesson perfectly. He explained that the glass represents your goal, your ambition.
Okay, the glass is the goal.
And the water is your focus. It's your energy, your concentration.
And the distractions, the chirping and the laughter, that's all the external noise.
That's the noise of the world.
But I wonder, does Guruji's lesson translate fully to our world today? Rustling leaves and chirping birds are gentle. You have to make an effort to notice them.
That is a critical point.
Modern distractions like a phone vibrating or a red notification bubble, they're designed by scientists to shout for your attention. They hijack your focus.
Yes. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, the principle is amplified, not negated by modern life. Guruji's warning was that even those small natural distractions drain you. Incrementally. So imagine how much faster that water spills when the distraction isn't a bird, but an infinite scroll of content designed to glue your eyes to a screen.
Wow, that reframes the stakes entirely. Guruji's warning, it lands even harder now. If you do not discipline your mind, you will lose everything before you know it.
Mm-hmm.
So Kabir didn't just understand the metaphor, he understood the threat. Which brings us to the pivotal question. What did he do? What were the practical steps?
The beauty of this story is that the solution wasn't complex. It was just consistent. Kabir realized he had to treat mental discipline like a training regimen.
And he started small.
Yes, which is the first, most crucial takeaway for you listening right now. If you're trying to integrate this wisdom, start small. Big changes fail. Small, consistent changes build momentum.
That's the actionable heart of this dive. The source outlines 3 specific daily practices. Let's dig into why these are effective, not just list them. The first one was waking up at the same time daily.
Right.
So why is a fixed wake-up time a focus strategy?
It tackles the chaos of the wild horse immediately. Consistency is the enemy of restlessness. By waking up at a set time, you're imposing control on the very first moments of your day.
You're setting the tone.
You're setting the tone. It leverages cognitive science by stabilizing your circadian rhythm, which in turn regulates cortisol, the hormone that governs alertness.
But wait, is it the waking part that really matters or the consistency? I mean, if I'm a night owl and I work better at 10 p.m., does the source say I have to wake up early?
That's a great question. And based on the story, the focus is undoubtedly on the consistency.
Oh.
The power of a fixed time, early or late, is that it removes choice and negotiation from the start of your day. You're training the wild horse to follow a clear path. You're building that foundational control.
Got it. Okay, next was the direct confrontation with the biggest modern distraction, limiting his phone use.
The ultimate test.
For Kabir, maybe this was just talking to friends or games, but for us, this is a full-scale battle.
It is the ultimate test of the water in the glass analogy. The phone is a fountain of noise that's disguised as utility.
Right.
Guruji taught Kabir to minimize the external noise, the chirping, but we have built a device that brings the entire distracting world into our pockets. It demands our focus spill out every few minutes.
Every glance is a drop lost.
Exactly. Limiting its use is the conscious choice to protect the water.
When you think about the simplicity of leaves rustled versus, say, a Twitter feed, it just shows how much mental resistance we have to build now just to function.
We are fighting algorithms.
Yeah.
And this leads directly to the third and maybe the most difficult practice.
Which was?
Giving his full attention to whatever he did. Whether it was a boring chore or intense studying, he committed 100% of his focus.
This sounds simple, but it's where the heavy lifting happens, isn't it? We're constantly multitasking, our minds are always wandering. How did he actually do that?
This is where meditation comes in. The source mentions he practiced for just a few minutes each morning.
Just a few minutes.
Yeah, to train his mind to be calm and steady. And what's fascinating is that the practice isn't about clearing your mind completely. It's about building the muscle of redirection.
So it's the mental equivalent of resistance training. You don't build physical strength by lifting air, you build it by meeting resistance.
Precisely. His mind still wandered. That's natural. But the critical difference was his response. He kept pulling it back to the task at hand.
That's the rep, the mental rep.
That is the rep. That act of noticing the deviation and deliberately redirecting your focus. You train the wild horse not by eliminating its urge to run, but by consistently guiding the reins back to the path.
So every time you notice your mind drifting and you gently bring it back to your work or the book you're reading, you're strengthening that muscle.
Yes. The goal isn't achieving perfect, undisturbed focus instantly. The goal is to get faster and more consistent at recovering from distraction.
That feels like a much more attainable goal for someone starting out.
It transforms the challenge from, a pass-fail situation into a continuous improvement cycle.
And it worked. Days turned into weeks, and Kabir felt tangible results. His memory improved, his grades started to climb.
The discipline was paying dividends.
Yeah.
But the real test, the ultimate proof, came a year later.
A big national competition.
Yes. A high-pressure scenario designed to separate the truly disciplined minds from those who were just relying on raw intelligence.
It was a crucible. Students had to solve extremely complex problems under a severe time limit. The pressure was immense.
And we know what happens to an undisciplined mind under that kind of pressure.
It splinters. The source says the questions were tricky and many students panicked. Their internal wild horses just bolted.
They lost all their water instantly.
But Kabir had spent a year taming his horse. He didn't panic. He accessed that calm, steady state he'd practiced.
And crucially, he applied the lesson from the garden test directly to the competition. He stayed fixed on his purpose.
Which in this case meant focusing on one question at a time.
Yes. He wasn't worrying about the clock or how hard the next question was or the other students panicking around him.
He just kept his eye on the glass of water immediately in front of him.
It is the ultimate validation of simple, consistent method over raw talent. He stayed calm, maintained his focus, and he finished.
And the final, undeniable result. Kabir was declared the winner.
Not the most intelligent participant or the luckiest.
It was the student who had mastered his internal self, proving that a disciplined mind is stronger than talent or luck or even intelligence when you're facing real pressure.
If we connect that to the bigger picture, Kabir's journey provides a blueprint. Focus isn't some innate talent you're born with.
No.
It is a profound skill, forged through simple, consistent, daily effort. The mastery of his mind was the true source of his victory, built one redirect at a time.
What an incredible transformation from a mind like a restless bird distracted by rustling leaves to a calm, successful competitor winning a national challenge.
Powerful.
The practical toolkit is so clear. Consistency in your routine, aggressively limiting those high-demand distractions, and that constant, gentle but firm practice of pulling the mind back.
And this framework is compelling because it shifts the focus away from achieving perfection and onto prioritizing the process.
Yeah.
You don't need some massive spiritual change.
Yeah.
You just need commitment to small, daily habits that build mental resilience. Start small, like Kabir did, and trust the compounding effect of consistency.
So what does this all mean for you right now? You have your own goals, your own glasses of water that are demanding your focus.
Mm-hmm.
The strength and the wisdom Kabir achieved, they aren't locked away in some distant parable. They're available the moment you choose to apply these small disciplines.
The source leaves us with a really provocative thought, and it serves as a call to action.
Go on.
Your next chapter of success begins the moment you decide to discipline your mind.
Yeah.
Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for inspiration.